Most kids resent a dad who's constantly pushing them.
Let's go.
But not Rick Hoyt.
We can do this.
For years, Rick has been pushed, pulled, and carried by his dad, and he loves it.
Here they come!
That's because Rick, a wheelchair quadriplegic since birth, and his father Dick together have competed in over 65 marathons. So when you see Dick Hoyt pushing his son around, you're witnessing extraordinary devotion. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
Live from our newsrooms brings back our hit news network, SNN, with many news anchors like Arthur Brooks, Addison Hayden, and Beatrix Gemma. Brings you stories about the news worldwide. Tune in on Atlanta's #1 stations, Swanky 93.3 and The Heat 94.6 radio stations. To get the latest news today, listen on all major audio platforms like Spotify, iHeart.Radio, Audacity, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Podcast, Google Podcast, YouTube, and more.
Pass it on. Here's my bucket list for the day. Read an article on a news subject. Say only nice things about others. And listen to everyone's opinions. Because making things better requires change. Now, these changes aren't going to show up on your news feed, but they're things I can do. So change something today. It's not going to change the entire world, but it's going to change your world. Change is in you.
Pass it on.
From PassItOn.com.
Atlanta's #1 radio stations, Swanky 93.3 and The Heat 94.6 radio stations, has you covered. From our studios to our newsroom at K.L.P Entertainment. Listen on all major audio platforms like Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audacity, Apple Podcast, Stitcher Podcast, Google Podcast, YouTube, and more.
TunePocket.com.
Hey guys, today we are going to talk about some real estate topics. I've been shooting some content last couple weeks here on real estate. It's fresh on my mind. I want to share some stories about real estate and maybe encourage you to get into real estate. Really not the main goal. I just been working in finances for years now. A lot of my clients want to know what are their options for investing. And I think they're doing themselves a disservice if they don't learn about the real estate asset class. So let's back up. My name's Dan Kramer, and this is the 4F Forum, where we talk about faith, family, fitness, and finances. And I'll sprinkle in how real estate really done right, and I'm still figuring that out, by the way, but has the potential to impact your faith, family, fitness, and your finances, right? Some of the wealthiest people in the world hold their assets, hold their wealth in real estate. Why is that, right? So I think that's a question you want to start asking yourself, right? As you are grinding in your life, you're trying to do the best you can for yourself, for your family, right? You should be asking yourself, are you doing everything the best you can, Are you being efficient with your time? Are you learning? Are you growing? Are you scaling? And, as you move through your finances and your journey, what do you know about real estate, right? Who taught you what you know, right? Are you learning from the best of the best, or are you operating on limited beliefs in real estate? A quick nugget maybe is, I would caution you to only take advice from someone who's winning in an area that you want to do. Meaning, if your broke uncle told you that real estate is risky, and you should be cautious and careful. You should be cautious and careful, but if he's saying it in a way to discourage you from getting into real estate because he had a bad example or he had a bad experience, like, that's cool. Brush it off. Don't take real estate advice from him, though, okay? If you go into the gym and there's somebody super overweight that looks like they're going to keel over at any moment, probably not going to take fitness advice from them, right? If you want to better yourself in your finances, probably don't take advice from someone who's not practicing their faith and living their fullest, way to be close to Jesus and everything, right? So same concept in your finances, same concept in real estate. Take advice from those that are winning in the game, and be cautious about who you take advice from. So anyway, I want to talk a little bit about what we got going on in real estate. Not so much to brag, boast, or anything, because it's not all roses, but just more so to inspire you to keep learning the game and ask lots of questions. So I just did a live stream. You're probably going to see that on my personal page as well, and I'll share this out so you should be able to find it. But real quick, there's some terms in real estate, right? Like if you get a property and you want to hold it and put a tenant in it, that's a long-term game for real estate. Hold the property and collecting income. Some of the benefits, you get tax write-offs, which is good. You get to write off the property. Another way you can buy a property, improve the property, and sell the property for more. That's a flip. Some of the benefits, it's quick money. You can make some good money. Some of the not so good benefits is you got to pay taxes on the gains, unless you do like a 1031, but there's limitations there as well. And you got to deal with contractors. You got to get the job done. You got to do a good job there. So otherwise, you can wholesale the property. That's where you find lock it up under contract and then sell the contract before you even take ownership of the property. That's a good way to make some quick cash, not have to deal with a lot of people. But once again, you got to pay taxes on the income, and it's a sales job. So that's what I was talking about in the video. I wanted to share a little story. So I've been in finances now for about 8 years. I get to see, from working with hundreds of clients now, just kind of the financial journey, the struggles they deal with. And what I find is, and maybe you can agree with this or not, but most people are not taught about real estate. They might buy their home that they live in, and that's it. Maybe a second home on the move or a third home when they move, but they only know about real estate when it comes to living there. They don't know much about investing in real estate, right? And maybe they had a good experience and their house value went up and they sold and made some money. But I'm talking more about investing in real estate today, and why I would encourage you to think about how to get in the game, right? I don't expect you to become a real estate professional overnight. But when clients work with me in our finances, in my financial process, we'll organize their finances, we'll show them where they're holding all their money. Maybe they got a 401k, maybe they got old retirement accounts, maybe they got equity in their house. We'll show them ideas of how to access some of that money, unlock that money, and maybe get into real estate. Maybe partner with somebody who's a professional and get to receive some of the benefits with really just by providing the money, right? And they feel my experience been, they feel good because now they're getting into real estate. They're excited about it. They don't have to really take on the risk of managing the asset, but they can still receive some of the benefits. So what we've started doing in the last couple years is, we'll let clients put money in. We'll buy a property. We'll either hold the property. More recently, we've been buying the properties, raising the money. Clients can put money into the deal, and then we'll fix the property, sell the property, and then they get to share in the profits. The whole objective for me, obviously I want to make money, I want my clients to make money, but I want to expose clients to real estate. I want them to learn the game and either get excited about it or go out and do it on their own or whatever, just because the main reason is you read the books that say 80% of millionaires make their wealth or hold their wealth in real estate. Yet, how many of you, if you're listening to this, sit down with your typical financial advisor and they are teaching you strategies to buy real estate or investing? Not very many, I'm guessing. Maybe you did find somebody, but that's an issue, right? If most of the wealthy people hold their wealth in real estate and most of the people are not being taught about real estate, how are they going to ever bridge that gap to become most of the wealthy? Right? Not to jump up on the soapbox too high, but it's a big scam, right? They want you to funnel the money into the banks, the institutions, Wall Street, cross your fingers, hope it all works out, and really never learn anything, don't know how to control it. And if you don't learn and you can't control it, you can't make any changes. So it keeps you trapped. And the stats are kind of suck, right? Look at most people in the retirement years, like 70% or something are having to go back to work. 90-some% are afraid they're going to run out of money. You start asking the questions now. How can I reposition my assets to do the best I can for them so that you can, get yourself in a financial position of security, right? I think that's the ultimate goal is, can you provide for yourself and your family and, your kids and grandkids if that's something you want to do. Most of the advice out there is not going to allow you to do that. We'll deep dive into other topics at a different time, but even my wealthy clients, they're not even really fully understanding of how to pass on their wealth and keep the government
Pocket.com.